Hey, welcome back. This is the 2023 Oregon Reference Summit online conference. Once again, I'm Lori Moore. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Workforce Development Librarian at Multnomah County Library. I'll be your moderator for this session. For our attendees, just please make sure you're muted. We'll have time for questions at the end. You are welcome to put questions in the chat throughout the presentation as well. We'll make sure our presenter sees them. So our next presentation will be Oregon School Library Information System Online Resources. Our presenter is Jean Gritter, representing OASL. This session will last 30 minutes with the Q&A. And with that, it is all yours, Jean.
So I'm going to make sure I'm unmuted and I'm going to share my screen so that you can see. I'm going to walk you through the OSLIS website, excuse me. And I'm going to share that so that you can see what I am looking at. So OSLIS stands for Oregon School Library Information System. And it's a website created by librarians through a partnership between the State Library and the Oregon Association of School Libraries. And it's intended to provide and support instruction, teaching students how to conduct research. So it is also the central K-12 access point to the statewide databases. And I will show you how to get to those various things. So these resources are designed to be used either as a structured curriculum. You can start at the beginning and go step by step all the way to the end, or you can just pull the individual pieces that fit into a specific lesson plans, depending on your subject area. So this is what the website looks like. The address is just oslis.org. It's very easy to find. And it consists of two separate sections, one for elementary and one for secondary. They're divided into the same subsections, which are learn to research, find information, and cite my sources. But the content in each side is geared toward students of that grade level. Elementary content is geared toward upper elementary, so like 3 to 5. Currently, there is also, I'm just going to scroll down and show you, there's also these educator portals, as it were. But we're revising the site right now. So what's going to happen is that the educator portals currently exactly mirror the student portals, except that underneath a line at the bottom of the screen, there's some additional resources for educators. And within a month or so, that's going to shift. And there'll just be the two sections, but there'll be a toggle button at the bottom where educators can show those resources for educators or not, depending on how they want to use the site. So it will essentially be all the same material, just slightly different appearance. Let's see. So let me see where I am, and we'll just show you what that all looks like. There's also under the educator sections, the bottom currently of the educator pages, or under the toggle in the future, there are activity sheets and quizzes and things like that that go with each of the resources. So we'll take a look at those as we go along. So the three main sections are learn to research. I'll show you what that looks like under the elementary section. Learn to research, find information, and cite my sources. You'll notice there's a drop down over here where we can just switch the site without having to go backwards. We're going to go back to the secondary student, and you'll see that they've got the same three sections there. Learn to research divides the research process up into 6 steps for secondary and 4 steps for elementary. And then each step has a set of sub-steps within it. So the planning step, if we open that up, it starts with a video that gives an overview of how to plan. And then over on the right side, it breaks it down into additional sub-steps. You can plan your search strategy, you can plan your sources, and then there are resources included to back up each of those lessons. So here are some ebooks that are available, and I'll show you those in a little bit. Here are the videos that might be related to this step. There's a guide here and a rubric. And so those are all things that educators can pull and use or not as they choose. Let's see. So there are also posters available that walk through all of these sets. And the easiest way to get to those is to just go up to the top of the site and search in the box for posters. I've already pulled those up for you. So this is what that page will look like when you find it. You can get an 8.5 by 11 size poster, an 11 by 17 poster. This is what those look like. They're color coordinated. So the elementary has 4 steps and is colored with that color theme. And then the secondary has all 6 here. And you can print these directly off the website, or you can also contact the state library and they will often send them to you for free. Let's see, the video tutorials, if we go back to Learn to Research, there at the bottom, you can see all of them listed. So each step has specific videos that relate to that step. But you can go see the entire list of videos all listed together here in case you want to just pick and choose the ones that fit the topic that you're working on. We also have those ebooks I was mentioning available. And these are geared toward, they're written for sort of upper elementary, so they're the graphics are geared that way, but we find that the information is actually a little dense for that age group. So probably the best use for these is for educators to go in and pull the pieces, the resources that work best for them, and use them individually. They're probably just directing students to these ebooks. May not be the best way to use them, but of course there's always exceptions to that, and some kids might like to read them straight through. So, but those are available right there. Let's see where I am. There are 15 Learn to Research video tutorials for secondary, and there's 13 for elementary. Now we've shown you the entire list there. And so the tutorials focus on skills like developing questions or identifying keywords, how to use the databases, how to cite your sources. There's a quiz for each one of the videos that teachers can use. And the quizzes and the answer keys are on those educator pages, or in the future, they'll be on that under that educator toggle area. Let's see, the find information. Let's go back here. Find information tab brings us to the databases that are available. And these are the secondary databases. They start with high school, middle school, and then they go through. They're specifically geared toward that level. So the elementary databases are going to be geared toward younger students. These are geared toward middle and high. And then there are also databases for Oregon Historic Newspapers. There's the Oregon Encyclopedia. Answerland is here. Student Atlas of Oregon, all kinds of other useful things. There's a video about what a research database is and how you should use it. And then there's an overview of OSLIS altogether that can be useful as well. So I'm going to toggle over to the elementary site and show you what those databases look like under Find Information. So here we have National Geographic Kids, and the middle school is included here, but there's also an elementary database specifically. So slightly different sources there. If you are, or a student is, accessing one of these databases from their school site, they should be able to just get straight in and not have any barriers. If they're trying to access perhaps from a public library, they might get a screen that asks them to choose their school name or their district. And so there'll be 3 sort of login windows across the screen, and they choose the middle one and they enter their school district in there, and then that's how they gain access to the databases. They can also access the databases outside Oregon by entering their county and city, and so then the system makes sure that county and city matches, and then it will ask them for their school district, and then they're able to get in after that. So they can access them from anywhere. It just takes a couple more steps if they're, I don't know, overseas or something. Let's see. So this is the Find My Information. We've gone through Learn to Research. I'm going to look at Cite My Sources. This is Citation Maker. I'm in the elementary version, so it's only available in MLA for elementary. But if I go over to secondary, you can also choose APA. So high school students who might be doing science courses or things like that, they're going to need to cite APA for, can switch to that. So if you go into Citation Maker, students choose over here what it is that they're trying to cite. Website article is most popular at this time. And then it shows them some examples. It walks them through, they enter in the information. They create a citation below, and then they'll get a window, a box right here at the bottom that lists their citation. And if they keep going, they leave this window open and just keep going and enter a couple more articles in here, then it's going to list all of those citations for them in alphabetical order, and they can just copy and paste those. Or they can also, there'll be a button available, they can save them as a Google Doc or as a Word document. just exactly as they are and create a new file. So they can do that either way. There's also, now there used to be a button here to switch to APA, but you can go back and switch to APA if you like. So the nice thing about the citation maker is that, first of all, it is created by librarians, so it's accurate and it pulls in all the necessary information. It's free. There's no subscription costs or anything else. And then there's no advertisements. So most of the other citation makers out there either charge a subscription fee or provide advertisements, and this does neither. So it's very useful for that reason. Let's see. There's also a folder of resources, and I will put that link in the chat here in a second. But this is what that looks like. And you can see that there are posters and guides and flyers and all sorts of other things that might be useful to post around the library or have available for students. And that directs them through all of these steps to make sure that they are aware of all the resources there. So I'm going to go back and just go through that one more time so that you can see those steps. So we can start with defining what it is we're searching for. Here's the define step. There's a short video. There are additional resources over here. And then plan. We've got the overview video. We've got additional resources here. Walk through the different elements. Find is the next step. Create. Same thing. They've all got a video and additional resources. Present and reflect. And then if we are on the educator site, and we scroll down, you'll see that there's educator content. Some of it is longer than that, I think. Well, some of them have more educator content than others. So I'm just going to go through my notes really fast and make sure I didn't miss anything. I apologize. It is Friday afternoon for all of us. Let's see. Secondary and elementary, student versus educator. We've got learn to research. We've got the videos. We've got the activities. We know how to find information and hit all those databases. We can cite our sources. We've got posters available to keep all those steps in mind. And I showed you the ebooks that are also available. So I'm going to briefly stop. No, I'm just going to post this in the chat. There is the site for the extra resources. And I am going to stop sharing my screen and see if we have any questions yet. It's a lot of information. I know I went through it really fast. I apologize.
I don't see any questions in the chat. Folks can feel free to raise their hand though if they want to speak, or we'll give you time to put things in the chat as well. I always forget that exists, Jean, so I really appreciated seeing it.
And there's a lot there, and I went through it really quickly, but there's just so many resources available. And the really great thing about it is that you can go in and find the specific piece you need. So if a kid is struggling with just this piece, you can grab just that particular resource to help them with. And it's really useful that way.
Anything anyone wanted to see maybe in more detail? It may be one of those kind of resources we just want to dive into and use a little bit.
It really is. That's the best way to get to know it, is just to get in there and dig around. If you're just wanting to land on one specific spot, I highly recommend going to the Learn to Research page and looking at the videos and just getting that whole long list of videos listed by topic. Then you can pull those out and start taking a look at them. And we are in the process of, so we're changing the slide a little bit. We're changing that educator piece, and we're going through it and updating a couple of the videos that are starting to get, it's just time for an update. So for instance, like evaluating sources, we've got new things that we know about evaluating sources than we did last year or the year before. So we're updating those kinds of videos. So there will be over the next few months, a couple of videos that get newer versions, but most of them are still very solid.
We were discussing Chat GPT earlier today too, so I wonder if those things will need to be
Addressed,
some information
certainly.
addressed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the things that we're working on right now is incorporating the lateral reading strategies into our evaluating sources and updating those videos with that information.
We've got a comment in chat here. Someone is not able to access the URL that was just posted, the bit.ly.
Oh,
Yeah, it
Well-
looks like we just need access.
let me see if I can do that. I thought it was set to anybody with the link. Let me take a look.
Joys of document sharing.
Yep. Let's try this one instead. Let me
That
know if
works.
that one does work.
It worked
Okay,
for
great.
me. Thank you.
So that bit.ly is probably just old.
Any other questions? Okay, great. Well, as I said, we will be posting that video and then we'll include the links to the resources as well.
Well, thank you very much. If
Thank
you
you.
have questions in the future, you can certainly contact me. You can contact Jen Mauer at the State Library. She's our school library consultant. And we are both on the OSLS committee and can answer any questions you may have going forward.
Great. Thank you so much, Jean. We appreciate your talk and spending time with us today. I'm going to stop recording.